Scott's sign. I've wanted to, couldn't wait till we got to this moment where that first bell sounded.
Unbeaten, it's underway, round 1 scheduled for 10.
And you see immediately the physical attributes that Malik has. He's a little taller. You see Glazkov come off right from the opening bell. Aggressive, comes right out, lands a good hook.
And Scott fires a jab and another one.
And you see Malik very calm, very composed. He knows he's got 10 rounds to work here. He's got a world-class jab, Kenny. You see him setting up those very nice taunts and feints to try to feint Czar off balance, right back with a stiff, straight jab.
And you see the way he snaps it off. The average heavyweight throws about 19 jabs per round. Scott throws 29 on average per round.
Nice tight defense by Scott against the ropes right there. Let's
check in with Chris.
Guys, Czar Glazkov is a knockout artist, but he's not your typical knockout artist. Glazkov beats fighters until they don't want to fight anymore. Of the 10 knockouts on Glazkov's resume, 7 of them have come when his opponent has quit on the stool.
And Chris, we were there to see it. Hamer being the last guy that said no mas.
Beautiful lead hook by Malik Scott right there. He's setting up the jab, touching him, and turning that hook off of that jab. Good punch by Scott. There's that jab to the body, that punch, Kenny, that I love so much because it gets your opponent off balance. I think Malik Scott so far in this first round is doing exactly what he wanted to do.
And again, sliding that jab in. It appears just about any time he wants to so far.
Yeah, he's done good work with it. Nothing too clean, but you see he's got his range. When he wants to land that right hand, he's going to be able to land it because he's touching him effectively with the jabs and a few hooks too, Kenny.
Scott continues to measure off Glazkov. Remember, in talking with Glazkov in the past, that's what he said. He would be ready to eventually wear down anyone. Glazkov has that kind of confidence.
Yeah, I know he said that, Kenny, but sometimes it's different when you get in there with a guy who has been in 5 training camps with Lennox Lewis before. You know, Malik Scott is not a new kid to boxing. He's been around it his whole life. Very distinguished amateur, very good, and he really knows how to fight, so it's going to be an interesting battle.
And that is the key for Glazkov, is that how well will he hold up against a guy that has felt the punches before and been able to respond. And as you said, Malik Scott has been in there in training camps and throughout his career against some of the best.
Beautiful tempo, great first round from Malik Scott.
Malik Scott comes out setting the tone here in the early going of this fight. And more with Glazkov when we come back.
It's the AutoZone Rewards Card, and it's free to every AutoZone customer. It's simple. The more you shop at AutoZone, the more rewards you earn. So get your free rewards card today. It's our way of saying we're proud to have you as a customer. Get in the zone. AutoZone.
Hey, what are you drinking?
I'm drinking Dunkin'.
I'm drinking Dunkin'.
I'm just in love with the flavor.
I get mine black. I don't want to take away from that pure taste.
So smooth, no bitterness. It's awesome.
There's no other taste like it.
America runs on Dunkin' Coffee.
Vyacheslav Glazkov caught the world's attention in 2008. The Games of Beijing. And the Ukrainian fighting his way all the way to the semifinals, BJ.
Yeah, he had a great tournament, and he actually dislocated his elbow. You see David Price there on the gold medal stand, the good heavyweight from England. He actually just got upset today by Tony Thompson in England, but a lot of talent on that pedestal there.
Bronze for Glazkov, and you see the Ukrainian boxing success, 14 Olympic medals. And we get back to action here. Glazkov, one of their big stars, and in round 2, Glazkov in the blue, Malik Scott in the black with the pink. And Scott was able to control the pace throughout that first, landing 18 punches, 11 of 30 on jabs in that first round.
Yeah, Malik dominated that first round. Beautiful boxing. His feet are set, and he's really pushing off that back leg when he lands that jab, so he's generating a lot of power. It's not just an arm punch, so Glazkov came out a little harder in the beginning of the second. He knows he's got to switch things up because it simply did not work in the first round.
He paws out but cannot land a jab.
Big left hook by Malik Scott.
By Malik Scott coming right back. Saw that open, took advantage. And fires off another jab and then another one.
And that's the thing. When you start to find the range with that jab, it starts to open up the other punches. Beautiful jab up, beautiful jab down by Malik Scott. Glazkov's getting closer, but he hasn't been effective when he's got there yet.
Scott's still quicker on the jab, taking advantage of his reach. Let's check in with Chris.
Guys, some frustration in Glazkov's corner after that first round. They told him to step closer, step closer. You're letting him control the fight with the jab. Step up and make it a fight.
Thanks, Chris. This is a big step up for Glazkov we're seeing early. And by this stage, a lot of guys were intimidated. He's looking at a man that's taller than him, has a longer reach than him, and has been through some great battles in the ring.
And I think his corner's going to realize soon it's not that Glazkov's not trying to get inside. He is. He's walked inside on everybody else he's faced. He's simply facing a different style of fighter. People think Malik Scott is boring. He doesn't have a lot of knockouts. Pernell Whitaker didn't have a lot of knockouts either, but the guy could still punch, and he made it very difficult for his opposition.
His 35-0 record, 12 knockouts. Like you say, BJ, that seems to be the knock, whatever that would be for an undefeated guy. But he is a great tactician, as we've seen over the years. And he's showing it now.
He is, and the thing we see, Kenny, is that Malik sees Glazkov's punches coming, and he's able to be in sound defense when they come. And it doesn't seem like Glazkov is able to quite catch the timing of Malik Scott's jab or his lead left hook. And once again, he's getting close to Scott without penetrating his defense.
He reaches out, Scott gets away. Scott continues to dictate things with the jab. Final seconds, round two. Another solid round for Malik.
Find it. All right, another one just like that. Right in the old bucket. Good toss. See, that's much better. That was good. You had your shoulder pointed, you kept your eyes on your target. Let's do it again. Watch me. Just like that one.
The durability of the Volkswagen Passat. Passed down something he will be grateful for.
Good arm.
That's the power of German engineering.
Back to you.
Bait cast reels take some getting used to, and you'll want a quality reel to help avoid backlash. You might just want to trade that one in.
The Spring Fishing Classic starts this weekend at Bass Pro Shops, our biggest show and sale of the year. During our reel trade-in sale, save up to $100 more on a new reel when you trade one in.
Do not run with these.
Legs out, legs out. Beautiful round, and more busier with your jab. Here and here, start hitting him with a jab. Don't let him set up, then crack him with them hooks. When you hit him with the hooks, I want you to step to the sides. Don't stay in front, okay? You got me? Don't stay in front and don't pose. When you're on them ropes, I want them pushing off them shoulders, all right? Give me another one like that. Look at me. Give me another one like that. I love it.
How about that? That was an entertaining corner to listen into with Jesse Reed and company over there, wasn't it?
I'm very motivated myself right now, and you saw something very interesting. Both fighters at the beginning of the third round were off their stool with seconds to spare, standing in the middle of the ring, waiting for the bell to ring. Both guys want to set the tempo in the beginning of this third round. Glazkov knows he's lost the first two.
Yeah, round three, these undefeated heavyweights. You have Malik Scott winning both the first two rounds.
Yeah, I got it 2018. He's controlled the pacing, the punches. He's landed the cleaner punches. And, you know, it's a very hard lesson to learn. You know, Malik Scott, he looks like an easy guy. He looks like he can go out there and beat him. He doesn't beat everybody 80-72 for no reason.
Glazkov trying to pick up the pace. Let's check in with Chris.
Jesse, you seem very happy with what Malik was doing those last couple of rounds. What specifically did you like?
I like the way he's staying relaxed and working off his left hand, and he's pulling him into hooks. Keeping him, he's not laying on the ropes and keeping him in the middle of the ring. That's the main thing in this fight.
What do you have to be worried about with Glazkov right now?
Well, he's a strong guy. You don't want to let him get set to punch. Keep him off balance and keep touching him.
Thanks, Jesse.
And through two rounds, it was Scott landing 23 jabs out of 60 thrown. and doing such a nice job of being able to keep the measurement on Glazkov, as he's doing right now in this round.
He's doing a great job, and if you're a heavyweight with a world-class jab, that's the absolutely most valuable tool you can possibly have. Malik Scott's showing that. Glazkov's getting close to him. He's right there, but he's still hesitant to let his hands go because of that very sharp jab that Malik Scott has. He's been making Glazkov pay.
You heard again, Jesse Reed, jab, move in and out, and that is what he has been doing.
And Malik's so tall, people think, oh, you know, he's tall, I'm going to be able to walk right in and get the range. You know what he does very well? He points those shoulders. He'll take one step one way and point at you with his shoulder. He'll take another step off to the side and point. He'll create angles with his shoulders and his body to make it difficult to corral him, and he punches very well off those angles. And then he's always got a very stiff jab in your face, so it makes Glazkov have to reset every time he gets close. Very difficult to fight a guy like Malik Scott.
Glazkov looking perhaps a little frustrated here in this third round, as once again Malik Scott continues to have things his way.
Why don't we play a game of hide and seek?
Now?
Yeah, go hide.
1,
2, 3.
Bite-sized chickens grown up. KFC Bites. Freshly hand-breaded in the Colonel's original recipe. Try 10 bites with an 8-piece meal for $19.99. Today tastes so good.
Who is the one person who's waiting for you? At eHarmony.com, we'll help you find out. Who's your soulmate? Come see what eHarmony.com can do for you. Get started today for free.
Formula One. Measure equal parts action, mystery, drama, thriller. Combine thrill seekers, jet setters, rock stars, supermodels. Mix in 19 countries, 5 continents. Abu Dhabi, Montreal, Sao Paulo. Rock shows, car shows, boat shows, Monaco. Add luxury, celebrity, racing, royalty. Man plus machine plus the world. Shaken and stirred. Formula One begins Saturday, March 16th on the NBC Sports Network.
Move those hands and start popping those jabs. Look at me. This is your day. This is your day, and I want you taking charge. Don't let this guy grab you. You push him around. You be the boss. But use your boxing skills, all right? Give me a deep breath. You're in great shape. Don't let him have a free shot. I want you moving and punching. Showcase that shoulder. Just showcase it, all right? Let's go to work. Come on, son. Keep taking them round by round.
Jesse Reed between rounds with Malik Scott, and as you said, BJ, he was talking about the shoulders, about the angles, and keep the jabs going.
It's a foolproof plan, Kenny. He's very effective so far. I've got it 3 rounds to 0. Not a hard fight to score. Malik Scott is doing the job and looking very effective. And, you know, the reason it's so impressive is because Glazkov is a bronze medalist. There's a lot of hype around Glazkov, and the way that Malik Scott is handling him, it's just very impressive.
Well, again, to come up on a guy with the experience of Scott, who's been there himself as an amateur champion, and then gone on to a successful pro career, yet to lose, has been in some major camps, as we were talking about with Lewis and others, and now begin to say, I didn't feel that, bring it on, begin to taunt the young Ukrainian a bit.
Yes, he definitely got caught with a good shot there, but he's showing, hey, I'm a dog, I'm in this fight, you know. I'm a Philadelphia guy, and Philadelphia guys will go down swinging. He's fighting a smart fight. He's doing the right thing. You know, Jesse Reed doesn't want him to give away any shots, but he gave one up right there, Kenny.
Yeah, that was the best shot that Glazkov's put in so far, other than a few times when Reed smacked the shoulders of Scott, sending him out there to start the action. Let's check in with Chris.
Guys, another familiar message coming out of Glazkov's corner after that last round. You need to throw more punches. Stay on him. I need 4 punch combinations. I need you to double the jab. I need you to close the gap.
All right, thanks, Chris. And that's one reason he hasn't been able to, how quickly Scott can strike.
You saw that beautiful hook to the head and the body. He kind of baited Glazkov in there. Glazkov is like, you know what? I'm going to come in, I'm close. I'm going to land the punches, and Scott had an answer for him. And this is a very difficult lesson to learn. People think they see Scott in there not doing much, but the way he positions his body, the way he jabs, and the way he punches, he's got very undervalued punching power, and it's a hard lesson to learn in there sometimes. Glazkov is having a better round with all that being said.
His best punches being landed here in the fourth. This one's scheduled for 10. Unbeaten heavyweights. Scott in the black and purple against Glazkov.
And you see Scott, when he gets in those clinches, pushing Glazkov off, trying to control him, be the physically stronger guy. It's a better round by Glazkov, but I still got to give it to Scott. Good body shot.
Tsar Glazkov landing his best punches here in this round.
Lobster Fest is the king of all promotions.
There's nothing like our grilled lobster and lobster tacos. The Bar Harbor Bake is really worth trying.
Get more during Red Lobster's Lobster Fest with the year's largest selection of mouth-watering lobster entrees, like our delicious Lobster Lover's Dream, featuring 2 kinds of succulent lobster tails, or our savory new grilled Maine lobster and lobster tacos. It's back, but not for long.
Our guests go crazy for Lobster Fest. My favorite entree is the Lobster Lover's Dream. What's yours? Come celebrate Lobster Fest and see food differently.
Want to know why I didn't last 5 hours? I disproved the theory of relativity. I mastered origami while beating the record for hacky-sacking. Found Bigfoot. I swam the English Channel. And then I swam back. And then I took the dogs for a walk. How do I do all this? 5-hour energy. Hours of energy now with no crash later. Underlay!
Round 4 action. Take a look at it, BJ.
You see a good jab and a good right hand by Glazkov. Is really his only clean punches so far, throughout 4 rounds. But he was getting closer to Malik there, and it was because Malik stopped shooting the jab as much. He only shot 14 jabs and only landed 4 of those, so he's got to get that punch going again. Moving into the middle part of this scheduled 10-rounder. And as BJ said, according to CompuBox, Scott landed 1 more punch, 14-13, than Glazkov, who's coming off his best round. Let's check in now with Chris.
Don, what are you seeing out there?
Well, I see my guy's not throwing enough punches. If he make him engage, it'll be an easier fight. Because Malik don't want to fight.
How do you change the style?
You can't. He got to do it. I can't do it.
How does he do it?
That's what he got to do. Right, that's what he did. Get him on the ropes and keep him there.
Thanks, Don.
The veteran Don Turner, he's been associated with some of the great names in the sport, has been impressed by the work ethic of Glazkov and the overall attitude, but you know, coming in, he's seen so many fights, he knew what kind of fight Malik Scott was going to put in front of his man.
He did, but I think they undervalued and they downplayed Malik's punching power a little bit. They all said, hey, Glazkov's going to chase him all over the ring. We're going to have to find him and track him down. And, I think they simply underestimated Malik Scott a little bit.
And there he gets back to the jab to Scott. Not many of those thrown in the last round.
And he's got to get back to that because Glazkov is starting to get closer to him and starting to do better work with Malik Scott's back against the ropes. And in those clinches right there, you see Malik Scott take that left forearm and push him away. That's what his corner, Jesse Reed, asked him to do. Still got to be careful in there because Glazkov is dangerous in those close quarters. Good left hook by Glazkov.
And Glazkov, a more confident fighter here in the middle part of this.
He's doing better work this round. He's got Malik. Malik might have hit a little bit of a wall, might be a little tired here, and he's going to have to get a second wind to tighten things up a little bit. He's still doing very well, but Glazkov is definitely getting closer, getting a little more confidence.
Scott even showing a southpaw stance at times.
With all that being said, Scott is still probably landing the cleaner punches. Good right hand again by Glazkov. This is the first round that I could probably give to Glazkov.
Glazkov, a good 4th round, a better 5th round. As we're moving into round 6, coming up in 30 seconds between these unbeaten heavyweights.
The General gives over 1 million online car insurance quotes every year.
It only takes a couple of minutes. That's fast.
They do have great low rates.
And it's completely anonymous.
And the General's customer satisfaction rating is 97%.
Affordable car insurance from the General. Get a free quote right now and choose your own due date.
For a great low rate you can get online, go to the General and save some time.
Don't give him any rounds. Don't give him any false confidence. You're the man. You're the man. You be the boss. Come on. Let me see those arms. Come on. Nice and loose. I want to see that jab like a piston. Hard to the body. Bam. Bam to the head. Start banging.
As we get ready for round 6, in the blue, Glazkov, 14-0. In the black and pink, Malik Scott, 35-0. And you heard Jesse Reed, the trainer of Scott, between rounds, once again saying, don't let this guy get confident, because Glazkov has had his best 2 rounds back-to-back. Kenny Rice, B.J. Flores, and Chris Mannix here ringside. How did you score the last round, B.J.?
I gave the last round to Glazkov, but I gave the 4 previous rounds to Malik Scott. So we saw Glazkov get closer. He pushed Malik Scott against the ropes a little bit and did the more effective work, but it was still a pretty close round, Kenny.
And one thing Glazkov, even with some good punches, has not been able to do, as you see the punches in round 5, with Glazkov having a 4-punch land edge on Scott. He has not been able to intimidate Scott. No, and he's done that with just about everybody else.
Beautiful right uppercut right there by Malik Scott, and he snuck in.
Scott almost able to slip a left in there as well.
He's just very good at placing his punches. You know, Glazkov, when he gets close, he's not able to have his way with Scott like he's used to having his way with guys. And, you know, it's similar because it's an even playing field because of the amateur experience.
And Scott, maybe a little intimidation effort there, huh, to pick him up and turn him around in that corner, being separated.
And, you know, this is where Glazkov has to work. He's got Scott right there. He's got to land punches and be effective there because he's not getting it done on the outside, and Scott is.
Well, that's what we heard from Don Turner talking to Chris over there in the corner. Get him on the ropes if you can. He had him briefly.
Good right hand by Glazkov. Beautiful left
nice
uppercut
body shot.
And it's just a beautiful shot. It looks like Glazkov gets a little aggressive, and Scott just times it perfectly and digs it in there. It's a great shot.
So far, it has been a tactical fight which favors Scott, not the power bruising game that Glazkov likes.
And you might think if you're a casual fan at home, why doesn't Glazkov just go up to him and start punching him? That good stiff left jab, that up and down movement with the jab, and those nice combinations when Glazkov tries to come in, slows down all aggression from Glazkov.
That was a stinging right, wasn't it, coming right off that jab?
Beautiful. He shoots that little short left hook and then a right hand right down the middle. You shoot the hook to raise up the right arm of Glazkov, bring the right hand right down the middle, and it reminds him, hey, I've got power too.
Jabs and hooks. Scott has made a nice living on those, hasn't he? A 35-0 record primarily.
Beautiful short right uppercut against the ropes right there, Kenny. You see Glazkov put his chin right on Scott's chest, and Scott came right on the inside with a right uppercut.
Glazkov trying to work the body and slide in his own uppercut. Scott too wily for that.
Beautiful right hand by Scott. He's just not able to bully him against the ropes there, Kenny. And, you know, Scott's a veteran. He's very crafty. Good round by Malik Scott. Glazkov
is fighting tough, but Scott is so far making this the fight he wants it to be. Unbeatens continue on.
Lobster, lobster, lobster. How do you know it's a Quiznos sub? Lobster. The lobster and seafood salad sub is back and made with real lobster for a limited time only at Quiznos.
The hotter the hot, the colder the cold, the greater the demand, the more you need Duralast. Batteries built to exceed the need. Only at AutoZone.
Runs into it, you know what to do. Pull off the side, crack him with a hook. Then bring back those uppercuts. Inside, I don't want you wrestling with them. I want you moving your feet, pointing your shoulders. All right, don't let him come and set you up on the ropes. Don't let him set you up on...
Neither man has been defeated. Glazkov in the blue, Scott in the black and pink. We go into round 7, this heavyweight bout scheduled for 10.
And I love seeing it every single round, Kenny. Both guys standing at the middle of the ring with ample time to spare. Both guys can't wait to get back after it. Both guys trying to preserve their undefeated records.
They are ready to get at it. How did you score the last round, BJ?
I gave it to Malik Scott 10-9 based on the clean, effective punching. I think Glazkov had a good 5th round, but Malik came back in the 6th round and reminded him again, showed him that I'm going to land the cleaner, more harder punches.
Let's check in with Chris.
Jesse, it seems like you like what you've seen throughout the course of this fight. What are you liking?
I like the way Malik's outboxing him and out sharpshooting. You got to stay a little busier. Don't let him even get set. We'll win this fight unanimously.
You said at the end of that last round, finish him off if you can. Do you think he's got a chance to stop him?
Yes, he does. I saw how he looked in the corner. He was exhausted. We got to keep wearing him down and try to stop him.
Thanks, Jesse.
Don't want no decision.
All right, thanks, Chris. Jesse Reed stated what every fighter feels. You don't want a decision no matter how well you think it's going for you.
Yeah, it's going pretty well. If anyone wanted a decision, Malik, the pace of this fight is going very well for Malik, but I like Jesse Reed saying, hey, we want to close the show. We want to make a statement tonight. And Malik, in the clinches earlier in this round, was doing some good work. Landed a nice clubbing overhand right, some good jabs. He's got control this round again, and, he's in the driver's seat, Kenny.
And Malik might be one of the few fighters that never worries when it goes to a decision. 23 of his 35 victories have come by judges' decisions in his favor.
You got to realize, too, he's got a lot of professional rounds. People may say he doesn't have a lot of knockouts, but he's been there a lot of times. He's got a lot of experience. He's not going to freeze up or fold as the rounds go on because he's been there so many times with decent level opposition. But it's very impressive tonight because he's got such a good opponent in front of him.
And as good as Glazkov's been, he has less than 4 years pro experience compared to over 12 for Scott.
And you see Scott starting to stand his ground in the middle of the ring a little more. And this is a nice little shift in the fight for Team Scott because he's not really with his back against the ropes as much as he was. He's kind of pushing. Good right hand by Scott. He's pushing Glazkov around a little more. Nice left hook again. And Glazkov simply needs to get back to his left jab. He's not able to touch Scott. Therefore, he's not able to hit him with anything clean or powerful because he can't find his range. Scott, he's hitting him, and he's not hitting Scott. See Scott on the ropes talking to him right there. He's talking to him, and then Glazkov takes a couple step backwards. He was looking for an opportunity to counter. A lot of good work by Malik Scott in this round.
Well, we know Malik can go the distance. He has many times. This is the 4th time in the career of Glazkov that he has gone on now past the 7th round. Outstanding fight between the big men.
Golden Corral just passed America's Family Budget Act. Right now, kids eat for just $2.99 Monday through Thursday. It's all your endless Golden Corral favorites, including our new sirloin filet and our non-stop butterfly shrimp. The $2.99 Kids Dinner Special, only at Golden Corral.
The new season kicks off with a rematch of last year's Eastern Conference Championship. Houston, DC United. Ride the ball. Next Saturday on the NBC Sports Network.
Look at me. I'm proud of you, son.
And there you see Jesse Reed and Malik Scott. And Trevor and Marcus and the whole team. Malik they have great confidence in their man. They said that coming in. They think he is the rejuvenated fighter that he said he was. He took that little break. He's come back. He's on a nice little streak coming in here. And, of course, he hasn't lost in 35 fights. Round 8 scheduled for 10. Glazkov in the blue. He has been 10 rounds before in winning a decision. And this is the only other time that he has made it to round 8.
And he's been 10 rounds before, Kenny, but it's all level of opposition. And you see Malik here, he's really starting to feel comfortable and, do what he wants to do. I have Glazkov now needing to win 8, 9, and 10 all impressively to even have a chance at a decision at this fight at a draw. So he's really got to step on the gas.
You saw the power punches from CompuBox. Malik Scott dominating that, dominating punches thrown, and the jab has just been lethal since the start of this fight. He has used that height advantage to negate the power of Glazkov.
And you know, Larry Holmes said it best, the most important weapon in the heavyweight division is the left jab.
The jab, the jab.
And Malik Scott is proving that. You know, you got a very tough, young, undefeated guy from the Ukraine, a bronze medalist. Everybody's scared of him. 15 people turned down this fight. Malik Scott said yes, and he's really shining tonight. Like his mentor and former world heavyweight champion Lennox Lewis said, you can't just walk through the door when your time comes. You got to bust the door down, and so far that's what he's doing.
Scott, we talked about that jab. The heavyweight average is just under 20, 19.8. And Scott throws 29.8 on average jabs per round. So he's always been great with the jab, and it's really been on showcase here tonight. He has fought the tactical fight that he needs to against the strong knockout power of Glazkov, and now he continues to taunt the young man.
Beautiful counter left hook a second ago by Malik. You know, Glazkov's trying to do some good things in there. He's working, but he needs to be more creative. He can't just punch at the guard of Malik Scott, or else he's going to continue to eat those big left hooks.
We've seen Malik do that a couple of times. Brush off the punches, getting into the head of the young Ukrainian.
He's simply showing him, listen, I've been around the block. I'm not intimidated by you, and I'm here to stay, as you very well know now.
And slides an uppercut in as he takes a body punch. So Scott continues to be the more active fighter throughout, even though Glazkov is fighting a nice fight.
He's trying hard, Kenny, but to be honest with you, he's not changing up his game plan. He's walking right into Scott's traps. Scott's pointing his shoulders, hitting him with the uppercuts inside, leading with the hooks, hitting him with the jabs. He's boxing very nice, and you know, the problem is Glazkov can't find his range because he's not landing and not shooting his left jab.
He's not faced anyone with this experience, and I doubt if he's felt that kind of zip on the jabs that he's been feeling all night long.
Another great round from Malik Scott. 8 rounds into the fight, and he's been dominant so far, Kenny.
Malik Scott wanted it. Over a dozen guys turned it down. He said, this is a big showcase. I want this undefeated rising star. And there you see Malik. Yeah, brush that off, bring something else. And listen to what Jesse Reed said about it all.
You own him, Malik. You own him now. Come on, baby. You own him. He's ours. He's ours, Malik. Don't let him have it.
And more Malik. Right. Let's go to Chris.
Guys, as you can see, Malik Scott has a lot of tattoos in his body, including one of Kim Kardashian and one of Charles Manson. Now, Scott had an interesting explanation about the Manson tattoo. He said when you were getting abused growing up, you, quote, can either go the Charles Manson route or become more like Barack Obama or Albert Einstein. In a way, guys, Scott looks at that tattoo to keep him focused during tough times.
There's a lot of tattoos to look at there. Quite the canvas. Jackie Onassis is on there. And Malik's son. Wow. So when he's not training, he's obviously in a tattoo park.
Yeah, but it looks like he's been doing a lot of training for the last couple months, Kenny, because he's looking spectacular tonight.
And he's been tattooing the face of Glazkov with that jab all night long as we start round 9, scheduled for 10, undefeated heavyweights.
And his hook, Kenny. The hook has been very effective punch tonight. It hasn't just been the jab. The hook has been key because when Glazkov overcommits with his jab, Malik Scott has slipped inside and landed the hook and then dipped inside with that uppercut as well to keep Glazkov honest.
Coming into this round, you saw the CompuBox stat. He had landed 28 more punches, Scott has, than Glazkov coming into this round.
And Glazkov's got to work in there. He's got to do something because he's not able to do it on the outside. And Malik Scott is simply telling him, hey, you can't penetrate me now, and, you know, I'm here to stay. He's showing him, I'm not intimidated by you, and your punches aren't doing anything to me. And with 8 rounds, 7 rounds in the bank already, he can afford to do that because Glazkov is the one who needs to go back to the drawing board and figure out what to do different because so far it's not working.
Glazkov trying to come overhand with the right. And Scott comes back with yet another jab.
And you see, you know, It's been a while since we've seen an American heavyweight, a 6'5", 230-pound guy with a left jab like that. It's been a while. But you know, who did this guy come up with? He was in the training camps of Lennox Lewis. Lennox Lewis had a hammer right left jab and a left that punch that felt like a hand, and depended on that squeeze to set up his other power punches. And I think we see a little bit of Lennox Lewis in that left jab of Malik Scott. That's a fantastic weapon for him, Kenny.
And BJ, he has put on a clinic tonight, the way he has handled himself in the ring. This is what we talked about earlier, the big power puncher, the contrasting style against the guy that is more of the tactician, and so far it's been all Malik.
And something I love that when Malik is standing there, he was defense. When he's on the ropes, right, not carefully open, and punching at everything. You see, he's got the wider opportunity, looking at all. Glazkov does, and looking for opportunities to counter at all times. Just a very cerebral fight out of this young man.
We heard him backstage before the fight telling Chris Mannix he's rejuvenated, revived. That time off helped him so much, and he certainly has looked that way. You've seen him many more times, BJ. Have you ever seen him look as poised and confident as he has right now?
I've always known when he got the opportunity to do it, but you know, he's just never had that level of opposition in front of him can get the credit he deserves. He will get like he will get tonight. He will get a lot of credit for this, Kenny.
They're both unbeaten. There is one round in front of them. Someone's is going to go. Glazkov, it would appear, has a lot of work to do and may need that one big punch to add to his knockout total if he's going to escape here with the win tonight.
He definitely needs a knockout on my scorecard, Kenny. I got it 9 rounds, so I got 7 rounds to 2, and
this is night because this has been Malik Scott's night, the 32-year-old Philadelphian. Although there have been moments for Glazkov.
But Kenny, right there, when he's getting into range, he's still not able to land cleanly. You know, when he's in close quarters like that, he has to make sure that he's being effective and landing punches in there to even the fight.
Moments ago, here's the way it sounded in Malik's corner.
Okay, the last round. Show me, let these people somewhat cheering for you. Start showing up what a fighter you are. Take this guy and move with your feet and point.
If you're ever having a down day, you should try to get the phone number of Jesse Reed and call him up. As we start round 10, final round, Malik Scott.
You see
Black
Malik
with the pink and Tsar Glazkov in the blue.
You see Malik come out immediately with the stiff 1-2, and then he didn't try to move his feet. He planted his feet, and then he put back on Glazkov to let him know, hey, I'm not running just yet. So otherwise, got to get in and do some damage punches up. This fight's over.
Let's go to the corner. Let's go into the corner of Glazkov, and Chris with the update. Chris.
Guys, an obvious sense of urgency from Glazkov's corner after that final round. They said you have to work, you have to go to the body, you have to double jab. You have to keep the pressure on him if you want to win this fight.
And for a brief moment, it looked like he was taunting Malik a little bit early on. You know, come to me.
Yeah, well, fortunately for Glazkov in his position, he's got to go at Malik because Malik's the one rounds in the good left up by Glazkov. You know, he really caught a good left uppercut by Glazkov there. He really caught Malik with a good punch there. Caught him with a good short left uppercut. Malik went to cover up, put his head down a little bit, and Glazkov came at the perfect angle and nailed him. Doesn't look like it affected him too much though.
Glazkov over half his victories. Top 10 of his 14 wins coming by some form of knockout, but he has not been able to figure out Malik Scott tonight.
Malik Scott, this counter was tracked by Malik Scott against the ropes. He's to initiate the attack here. He's coming forward. He's pushing him against the ropes, but he's still unable to land clean punches. He's doing more than Malik Scott, though, in this particular round. Malik's letting off the gas a little bit. Probably feels like this fight is already well in hand. It is on my scorecard. Good left uppercut again by Glazkov.
Gets put with the Scott business as he just a moment with the minute to go in this fight.
And you see Scott angle that left shoulder forward, drop his right shoulder back. When Glazkov tried to punch, he tried to dip down and land that right uppercut and that left hook. He missed the punches, but you see what he's trying to do in there. Good punches by Glazkov on the inside.
40 seconds away from some man suffering his first loss. it would appear to be Glazkov. And as savvy as Malik Scott is, you just don't expect him to be an any kind of big punch.
I think so. Nothing's impossible, but I don't think so, Kenny. Nothing's impossible, but, you know, Malik Scott I've always seen perform very well at the highest level of opposition, and he did that again tonight. A fantastic hope for American heavyweights. He showed, listen, I can go out there and dominate Olympians and bronze medalists from other countries, and he really put a great performance on tonight. He's got a lot to be proud of, Kenny.
With the way Glazkov had been fighting fighter after fighter after fighter, turned this down. Scott said this is the opportunity through, and he has come through with a strong Glazkov going the distance. It's now in the hands of the judges. Someone will lose for the first time.
And I've got it 97-93. You know, gave Glazkov the benefit of the doubt on 1 or 2 rounds, but it could very easily be 98-92, 99-91. And Malik Scott continues to uphold his outstanding reputation of beating guys 9 rounds to 1, 10 rounds to 0, except this time it was against a very high-level opponent.
And Glazkov has to learn something from this fight, I'm sure, BJ, to see a guy like Scott that can continue to frustrate him with the jab, because as it went on, Glazkov had some nice rounds later on in this fight.
Well, maybe Malik's team will, Glazkov's team will learn. Guys like Scott, maybe we don't necessarily need a guy like that next time on our way to the top. It's a very tough and difficult style to face, and Malik Scott put on a virtuoso performance tonight. He didn't close with a knockout, but he was more aggressive than he normally was, and his team is very happy with his effort over there.
As you look at Malik, 32-year-old Philadelphian, former national AAU champ back in '99. That's his son, 7-year-old Malik Jr. coming in to congratulate Dad and Jesse Reed and all the gang, Marcus and Trevor and everybody in that corner. They believe in a sincere way that there's a lot left ahead for Malik Scott to get back on the international scene.
Absolutely, it was a fantastic performance, and this is a name that we can now throw in the heavyweight mix. Throw it in, you know, Brian Jennings has had such a great year this year, beating a lot of good opposition. Jonathan Banks has had a big win over Seth Mitchell. You have to throw in the name of Malik Scott. Who would you not favor him over on those other 2 names? I mean, it's just very difficult to see him not being able to perform at least on that level.
And you would think that somewhere he's going to get ranked after this kind of showing tonight, BJ.
Yeah, he went in there and fought a guy. He said yesterday in the fighter meetings, the only fight I want after Glazkov is Klitschko. I don't know if that's realistic or not, but, you know, he definitely made a strong statement tonight.
Right now, he's waiting to hear the judge's decision. Someone's O will soon be gone. Let's go back to Joe Antonacci with the judge's ruling.
Boxing fans, after 10 rounds of action, we go to the judges' scorecards. Judge John Potteray scores the bout 98-92 for Scott. Judge John McKay scores the bout 96-94 for Glazkov. Judge Julie Letterman scores the bout 95-95 even. We have a draw. How about a round of applause for both of these fighters? 10 rounds of non-stop action.
Well, you know, we said someone's O would have to go here tonight, assuming that this thing would not be a draw. But a surprise, BJ, I know you're surprised. I know you have a few things to say about this.
Yeah, I had 97-93.
We've got a commercial break. We'll be back with more Scott and Glazkov fighting to a draw. Stay with us.